Hello everyone, thanks for joining me in this first tutorial designed to get you ready to work with Nobe OmniScope. It's important to first talk about the two versions currently available, as well as the version that's on its way. Right now you have the option of the photo version and the Pro version, with the video version coming soon. The Pro version contains everything Nobe has to offer inside of OmniScope, and that's what we'll be talking about in this and upcoming lessons. When it comes to licensing OmniScope, all the licenses are perpetual. However, with both the video and Pro versions, you do have the option of continuing your support after the first year for a yearly support fee, which you can cancel at any time, and always keep the version you are on when your support expired. You can also license OmniScope on up to 3 machines with each license you have purchased. Whether you've already purchased OmniScope or not, you can download the software from the website, enter your license if you have one, or run it in demo mode to take it for a spin. OmniScope is available for both Mac and Windows and comes as a plugin and a standalone application depending on your needs. Once OmniScope is installed, you'll have options, some hardware-based and some plugin-based for you to use OmniScope with. Your hardware options include Blackmagic Decklink and Ultra Studio, AJA, as well as monitoring your video on a secondary machine. Let me give you a quick example of that right now. If you take a look on the left, we have a computer, either PC or Mac, running DaVinci Resolve with, in this example, a Blackmagic Decklink PCIe card installed in it. We're taking the video signal via SDI or HDMI out to another computer, again either Mac or PC, with a Blackmagic Design Ultra Studio box attached to it running Nobe OmniScope. The best part is that OmniScope supports all Blackmagic hardware and will automatically populate the Connect to dropdown with your device with no extra steps required by you to get things up and running. OmniScope is also available in plugin form as well, supporting DaVinci Resolve through OFX and Assimilate Scratch through its native SDI plugin integration, as well as both Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects. OmniScope also supports NewTek's NDI input, giving you the ability to monitor any source across your network. It also supports screen capture, image and video files, webcam, and USB devices. OmniScope even has native Stream Deck support for custom shortcuts. Now you might be thinking to yourself, I already have integrated scopes in the application I'm currently working in, so why would I need Nobe OmniScope? Well, it's simple. Precision. Nobe OmniScope offers you unparalleled precision that your integrated scopes just can't offer you. Alright, let's get started. In this first tutorial, we're going to use OmniScope as a standalone application and show you how to call up your scopes, create custom layouts, and import a video clip to view its levels. Alright, so let's get rolling. What I'm going to do is navigate over to the search window. I'm going to type in Nobe, I'm going to launch OmniScope, and I will be brought to the Connect to dialog box. I'm simply going to close that for right now because we're going to bring in a video signal in just a second. Now you'll notice that right now my standard layout has a waveform on the left, source signal top middle, waveform in the middle center, timecode center bottom, and I have a vector scope over here on the right. Now you might be wondering why I have 2 waveforms up here. You'll see why once we bring a video in to start working with it. So why don't we do that right away? What I'm going to do is simply say connect, and I'm going to come down to video file. I'm going to choose a video file that's on my desktop, and I'm going to say open. Now as soon as the video file opens, it will start playing. It's all good. I can simply right click on the source signal, come down to the playback controls, and then simply pause that video. Now it's a little bit easier to see what's actually happening with my 2 different waveform monitors. As you can see, I have one as an RGB parade and the other as a Y waveform. And that's something that's important to keep in mind as you start opening all the displays. Some of them will have extra options. I'll give you an example. Let's navigate up to scopes. I'm going to come down to add new waveform. Now you'll notice by default, it calls up the default waveform, which I can right click on. I can navigate down to mode, and then I can choose the different waveform scope that I would like to see. So this is a huge advantage. When I talked about precision, you see all the different scopes you have access to inside of Nobe OmniScope. Now what I want to do here is I actually want to call up a different scope so that we can start to create our own layouts. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate up to scopes and I'm going to call up a new audio meter that I can find right down here where it says add new audio meter. Now what you're going to notice is that as I add these in, they appear as floating panels just in the middle of the screen. I can drag them around and do whatever I like with them. Now I'm just going to close this for a second because I just want to point out that what I have going on right now is 3 columns, and I did this with my standard layout to keep things very easy, very simple, very clean. What's important to keep in mind about the scopes inside of OmniScope is that they are dockable, and for me that is just the absolute best and easiest way to work. And especially with the scope that I just picked, what I normally like to do with my audio meters is I'll have that over here on the right hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to grab the audio meter, and as I start to drag it, you're going to notice these little blue windows will appear based on where I'm dragging. What we now actually have is 2 ways that we can attach this scope. We can attach it to the overall window like such, or I can get in and start subdividing other windows that I already have inside of each of the columns. Now because I want the audio meter to be big and over here on the right hand side, I'm going to dock this to the overall OmniScope window like such. What I'm now going to do is just bring it back because I don't need it to be that big. It is just an audio meter. Very nice. And we can now start to adjust all of our windows accordingly to put things the way that we like. And I think this is looking pretty good about there. All right. So what I now want to do is get in and save this as a preset. What I'm going to do is I'm simply going to navigate up to the layout dropdown, and you'll notice that I already have a standard layout. That is what the default layout was when I launched OmniScope. Now I can update the default layout, the standard layout, but what I'm going to do is just save this as a new one, and I'm going to call this standard with audio. And I'm simply going to say OK. Now all I have to do to switch back and forth between the 2 layouts is simply use the shortcuts of Alt-1 and Alt-2, or I can simply switch back and forth just like such, and I can have any one of the layouts that I might want to view at literally the click of a shortcut. And what you can also do is tell OmniScope what layout you want to have as the default layout when it launches by simply navigating to your options, coming to preferences, and you'll see right down here we can load the layout on startup, and in this case I have the standard layout set. So this way, every time OmniScope is launched, no matter where it's launched from, I know that that default layout will always be ready to go so that I'm up and running super quick. All right, I think that's a good place to leave off for our first lesson. Now, in our next lesson, we're going to take a look at the waveform monitor, vector scope, and the source viewer. Now, don't forget, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button and be a part of the conversation across any of our social media channels.